I'm the star. I'm the big shot around here. Nobody tells me what to do.
Easy come, easy go. Blow it fast, blow it slow. Toot that trumpet the way you know. Let's go.
I got a sugar daddy, a sailor, marine, and a preacher man if I want to take the time to work on him. How am I doing?
If it isn't love, just what can it be? If it isn't love, what's the matter with me?
Don't worry, honey. I'm through with all men.
Bump that trumpet with all you've got, just blow.
Hey friend, welcome to my channel Karinealourde, where we deep dive and break down the most iconic stars in history. If you're not yet subscribed, please be sure to do so and turn your notifications on so you never miss an upload. Now let's get into this video. Today we're breaking down Francine Everett, and though I am excited to be doing a breakdown for her, this is just another video of the sad reality that there was so much talent in the 1930s and 40s that just never got the opportunity to thrive because of the way society was. And Francine Everett is the epitome of this. She was gorgeous, she had a stunning voice, she was graceful, very elegant, and had all of the makings of a star. But unfortunately, she never got to really touch Hollywood. And she died alone in a nursing home, no husband, no kids, and just by herself. Francine Everett's importance in Black film nostalgia is defined by her unwavering commitment to portray African American women in a classic fashion, despite the fact that she was never given praises similar to those of her peers in mainstream films like the Lena Hornes, the Dorothy Dandridges. Everett first gained prominence for her roles in race films, which were produced independently with all Black casts and aimed solely at African American audiences. A columnist for the Black-owned New York City newspaper, the Amsterdam News, once called Everett the most beautiful woman in Harlem. William Greaves, a film historian, said of her, "She would have been a superstar in Hollywood were it not for the apartheid climate in America and the movie industry at the time." Unlike Lena Horne and Dorothy Dandridge, who became more aloof and, according to the Black community of that time, unapproachable so that they could please white audiences in Hollywood films, she maintained a down-to-earth, warm, and approachable aura despite her roles, making her more relatable to Black people. Films in Black cinema may not have had the budgets of Hollywood productions, but Francine gave her all in every role, and you could really feel it. I love race films because of that. You can just see all the actors and actresses just give their all very cheerfully, and it's unfortunate that out of the hundreds and hundreds of race films that were done in that era, there's only about 100 left. It's hard to find them. You have to really search for them online. YouTube has a few, like Dirty Gertie, which stars Francine Everett, is on here, but they just crushed that industry in those films, and they played some great roles, like, you know, wealthy people. They played roles that just showed them in a different light for that time, and Hollywood just crushed them, and only a few are left. And these people were famous in their own right in that era within the Black community, but the rest of the world would never get to really know them. So this is why it's always a pleasure for me to introduce you to these starlets, and I encourage you guys, Dirty Gertie is here on YouTube. You could just put it on the search, put Francine Everett, Dirty Gertie, you'll find the full-length film, and she has a few, about 2 or 3 movies that are here, as well as Sheila Guys. Her movies are on here also, and get introduced to the race films and let that legacy live on, because those stories were interesting, and the costuming, the hairstyling, everything about it was interesting, and they deserve their own accolades. In her films, Francine wasn't given a lot of direction, but as a true actress, she didn't need it. to deliver a brilliant performance. Francine Williamson, that was her given name, was born in 1915 to Noah Williamson, a tailor in Lewisburg, North Carolina. Francine attended New York City's St. Mark's School, but traded her education for a career as a chorus girl in New York's popular entertainment venues. Because of her striking beauty, the owner of the world-famous Savoy Ballroom, Charlie Buchanan, allowed Everett and her friends to enter his establishment even though they were underage. She trained as an actress at Harlem's Federal Theater, which was supported by the WPA. And among Everett's starring roles were the films Paradise in Harlem, Keep Punching, Big Timers, Tall, Tan and Terrific, and Dirty Gertie from Harlem, USA, directed by Spencer Williams. Everett appeared as a singer in more than 50 short musical films that were produced in the 1940s, notably Ebony Parade, which co-starred Dorothy Dandridge, Cab Calloway, and the Count Basie Band. She also worked as a model in print advertisements for clothing and cosmetics, but unfortunately, it's really difficult to find those prints and those photos. It's so sad, right? How she accomplished so much, and it's so hard and so difficult to find these things. She only appeared in a handful of films, but they were all winners, showcasing her range and talent and establishing her as one of the greatest Black actresses of all time. She's accomplished more in her short film career than many actors do in their entire career. Hollywood wanted Francine. They actually really did, but she refused to play maid roles as a way to prove herself, or demeaning roles. The roles available to her in Black cinema were more in line with her professional aspirations, so she declined to play stereotypical characters, which at that time there were a lot of people in Black cinema, aka race films, that did get the calling from Hollywood, but in a sense they wanted to humble them first, you know? And the way to be humbled is you either play this Jezebel woman, or you play these stereotypical roles of like the mammy, the housemaid, a little servant, a worker, or you know. And Francine just had a lot of pride and a lot of character coming from Harlem. The culture of Harlem at that time was so vast, and people were very proud. You know, African Americans in Harlem were very proud people, very educated, well connected, and just had morals for themselves. And she just refused. She was like, you know what, if this is what it's gonna take to make it into Hollywood, then I'm good, I'll stay where I'm at. And she just refused all those roles and continued to thrive in Black cinema. As far as her relationships go, at the young age of 18, she married Booker Everett in 1933, but he died from an accident, which shortly after made her become a widow. So she went on to marry actor Rex Ingram after, and they split up in 1939 after being married for only 3 years. Because she never remarried after her divorce from Rex Ingram, Everett continued to receive alimony and lived with her parents on 145th Street in Harlem. After her mother suffered a stroke, most of Everett's attention turned to her care. She also spent her days shopping or playing cards with friends. Following the death of her mother in 1961, Everett moved to her own apartment in Harlem's Lenox Terrace, and after leaving the show business, Everett settled into a clerical position at New York's Harlem Hospital. Everett had been to the hospital so often to visit her sick mother that she made friends with the staff, and they soon offered her a clerical position. Following her retirement from the hospital in 1985, she began giving talks about the race films at seminars organized by the International Agency for Minority Artists Affairs, and Everett died at a nursing home in the Bronx, New York, at the age of 84 on May 27, 1999. So isn't it sad? That's all we know about her private little life. It's sad how this woman with all of this potential, all of this talent, all of this personality and grace and beauty and dynamic voice was just reduced to a clerical position. Not that there's, you know, anything wrong with that. It's just, wow, but you've accomplished so much. And we know clerical positions are entry level. And this is how she lived the rest of her life. She deserved to have lived a better life for all the work that she's put in. And I wish there could just be a way. I know I'm not as enthusiastic as I usually am in my videos, but it's like really sad, right? When you think about it, just like, I wonder how many more starlets were out there. I have a couple on my list that I am going to introduce you guys to in the future. Just be patient. I have a long list of people, but I wonder how many other starlets and stars that were out there that we just don't know. They go unknown or they're unsung, and they just never got to really make a dramatic mark in history because of the way the times were. It's so depressing how you can just be born into this life that you didn't ask to be born into, a color that you didn't choose, and because of that you just lead this life of just the world ripping opportunities away from you, and your talent just goes unseen. But let's allow her legacy to live on. I will pin some links to her movies that are here on YouTube in the comment section. If you're interested, grab yourself a nice warm tea and watch these movies and support and share with friends and share these videos with people who could be interested. Share it to your Facebook pages, your Instagram stories, and just spread the word of these actresses that were Waste Films actresses. I also did one for Sheila Guys. Go and watch that video. She's one of my favorites. And make sure you get the word out about these actresses, and let's big up their popularity in the world, you know, and give them, even if they couldn't reap the fruits of their labor while they were still living, then in their death, let's bring honor to their names, okay? But if you like the music you're listening to, the link is in the description. I love you guys so much. Thank you for tuning in. Until next time.